I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man's Uncle Freezy. What's good? Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive-ish. Kinda. What's good, party people? Man, I hate the fact that I missed y'all, man, yesterday. Running a little late today, man. But you know what? We trying to get back in this routine, man. We trying to get back in this routine. So let's do this. Let's get up on the right foot. Let's start this thing off right. Right? Let's do it. Let's start it with a blue tears, orange tears, Florence tears. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this energy all the way up. Let's go. Hey, Pudge, nice. I hate that you're feeling bad, that you're under the weather. You know what I'm saying? Get well, man. These illnesses and sicknesses out here ain't no joke, man. Ain't nothing to play with, man. Make sure you take care of yourself. I mean that. I mean that, man. So let's do this also. How about we throw some hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care? And if you have some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. What's good? What is good? What's good? All right. So Uncle Freezy, the big tough guy that he is, let something knock him down. It happens. So I learned my lesson the hard way. I learned my lesson like, oh, you know what? In the immortal words of the great American poet Prodigy, there's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walk around with your head down, scared to look. You shook, and it goes on and on and on. So what's good, party people? I see y'all, man. I seen the Green Goblin in the building. Sam Grandison, what's good? What's good? Worldwide L is in the building. Vince Bowers is in the building. What's good? What's good? Hey, Vince, I was just talking to Anthony D last night about you and a couple others. It's funny. It's funny how conversations just make a weird turn. You're like, who? You know, Mr. Vince, be in the chat. Who? Yeah, never mind. But that's just between us. D'Angelo was in the building. Was good. Man, I see y'all. So I have a few things I want to get off my chest, and then I'm going to open up the chat because I really don't even want to talk about last night's game, but we can. All right. I'm very, very disappointed with the direction of the team. Very, very disappointed with the direction of the team. And it's not just, and when I say team, I don't just mean players or coaches or any of that. I mean everything. I'm frustrated. Right? Right. I'm very frustrated that at this point of the season, we are still trying to establish an identity. Right? And the reason why it's frustrating to me is because at some point, you are who you are. You feel me? At some point, no matter what type of clothes you put on, how much money you got in the bank, what kind of car you drive, what kind of house you live in, you are who you are. You feel me? No matter what kind of job you have, no matter what kind of education you have, you are who you are. Right? And so during this grind, you know, I'm behind the scenes, you know, listening to others do their very best, you know what I'm saying, as content creators. And shout out to everybody. Right? Shout out to Sports Vibes TV. Shout out to Knicks Fan TV. Nothing but Knicks. Everybody's been doing their thing. They've been trying to figure it out like me. Right? Trying to figure it out. But you know what though? I don't believe there's anything to figure out. We are who we are. And if that disappoints you, that's fine. That's fine. If what I said disappoints you, I can't correct that because you clearly were frustrated before I made my assumption. You are frustrated with losses to Cleveland when Cleveland was trying to give you the game. Losses to the Pelicans when the Pelicans were clearly trying to give you the game. You're clearly frustrated with a coach that does not have a grasp on rotation, on modern NBA rotations. Right? There are a lot of things going wrong with this team right now. And I think we should discuss all of them. Right? And I'm glad you guys are here with me for the ride. Right? Because the rides are not always smooth. Sometimes the rides are rough. Right? Right? But through it all, what we'll do, the Blanchard's family, is we are going to talk about what we've seen and what we need to do to fix what it is that we've seen. Right? And let me first start by saying, this. Obi Toppin needs more minutes. Right? Obi Toppin needs more minutes. And while I know a lot of you are going to say, well, Uncle Freezy, didn't you say last week Obi Toppin is a bust? Man, listen. Hear my point out on Obi first before we get too stark on one side or the other, right? Before you get too stark or dug in on one side or the other, hear me out on this. Is it a backtrack? I don't know. Is it intended to be an Obi bash? No. So I believe Obi Toppin is a talented player, right? But when I watch Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson, I'm like, there's no way. Tom Thibodeau, there is no way Tom Thibodeau can look at Obi Toppin and then look at Taj Gibson and say Taj Gibson is a better player. There is no way on God's green earth there's no way. What is Taj Gibson doing on an NBA basketball floor? And I love you, Taj, right? I love you, Taj, but it's like everything else in life. Every dog has their day. Every dog has their day, right? But a 34, 35-year-old big man with all the shortcomings, you tell somebody that shouldn't be in the NBA, you tell, hey, man, you too short, you too slow, you not athletic enough, you don't jump high, you don't block shots, you don't do all these different things, yet this man is getting minutes over Obi Toppin. See, I watched the game last night, right? And Obi Toppin got extended minutes because he was doing things that Taj Gibson doesn't do, right? Obi Toppin got extended minutes, man. He was knocking down threes and doing some other stuff. But wait a minute. If Taj Gibson's not doing these things, why would you hold Obi Toppin to this weird standard? Y'all heard me? So if Taj Gibson can't do these things, why are you holding Obi Toppin to such a high standard, Tom Thibodeau? What does Taj Gibson do that Obi Toppin does not do? See, at first, I thought it was just a screen thing. Hey, man, just play tough. Just be tough on the floor. Then I watched Taj screen, and Taj Gibson screens wasn't that impactful. We don't score every time Taj Gibson sets a screen. As a matter of fact, Taj Gibson gets his once a game offensive foul for a moving screen, at least once a game. So if you're an Obi Toppin, this is flat out not fair to a young player. Why is Obi Toppin being held back by Tom Thibodeau? What does Taj Gibson do that Obi Toppin doesn't do? And if Obi Toppin has to play exceedingly better than Taj Gibson to get on the floor, then we have a personnel issue, right? Not with Taj Gibson, not with Obi Toppin, but with Tom Thibodeau. Tibbs, if these dudes do the same things, and you won't let one guy try it and the other guy gets carte blanche just because he's older, see, that's a Tibbs issue. That's not an Obi issue. Right? Now, Obi, I know you hear me speaking on your behalf. And so you are not completely guilty or innocent of everything. There's a part that Obi plays in this also. But when I watched last night's game, I saw Taj Gibson, Obi Toppin had to make three three-pointers in order to stay on the floor. When you never see Taj Gibson to make three three-pointers, see, now there's a double standard. Now there is a clear double standard. There is a clear double standard, and it's not fair. Obi Toppin has to knock down three-pointers in order to stay on the floor when Taj Gibson has never, ever been a knockdown three-point shooter. And I understand this is going to frustrate some of you guys that are Tibbs supporters. I understand that, and I don't care. Because I saw something last night and it wasn't fair. It wasn't right. It's not right. The clear double standard. What are you doing? What are you doing, Tibbs? See, the rotation thing, I always back off and leave that up to the coach. Because the coach has a feeling on what he wants during the game. So when people talk rotations and all that stuff, I don't speak to it. I try to back away from it because it's like a chef cooking a meal. You know what I'm saying? You don't go tell the chef, you know what I'm saying, what seasonings to add and all that stuff. You let the chef do his thing. But here, sorry about that. But here, there is a clear injustice being served. A clear injustice. You ask Obi Toppin to do such and such things, and then you have a guy that comes on the floor that's supposed to do the same such and such things, and he doesn't do those such and such things, and he plays, yet the young guy who you ask to do those such and such things does not get the same treatment. How do you lose to a Cleveland Cavaliers team that is without Ricky Rubio, without Colin Sexton, right? Without Lauri Markkanen, without Jared Allen? You make no attempt to adjust. See, when I saw this thing play out, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, if they don't play Cam Reddish, so what? That was my thinking. Like, if they don't play Cam Reddish in this game, I'll be okay. Right? But then I asked myself, well, What if Julius doesn't have a huge game? What if Julius Randle, one of my favorite Knicks, Julius Randle, what if Julius Randle doesn't have a good game? Then what? Do you showcase Taj Gibson? Oh, I see Cully in the chat. Cully, what's good, bro? So I'm clearly frustrated. I'm frustrated, man, about a lot of different things, right? I'm frustrated that I didn't see Miles McBride in a night where a team showcased a bunch of small guards. It should have been, how do you not play Miles McBride? How do you not play Miles McBride last night? I don't care. Tibbs can say what Coach Thibodeau can say what he wants this morning. And this is not a me bashing Tibbs thing. This is a me in the moment being frustrated that we lost because we didn't have the ability to adjust. We had a bunch of boneheaded plays last night and looked like we were just unorganized. How does Quickly take a 30-foot three with the game on the line like that? How does Quickly even have the okay to take a shot like that? Right? I'm gonna throw this link in the chat. Right? I'm gonna throw the link in the chat. And y'all bear with me as we get adjusted back to what we normally try to do here. How does Emmanuel Quickly take this shot? Oh my goodness. So every time I think about how the game played out last night, I get frustrated. So Bodega Wi-Fi says, out of the last 10 games, our opponents ran a 10-man rotation. Facts matter all day, every day. I agree with you. So I'm a little bit slower than I used to be on this thing, y'all. Give me some time to get ramped back up. Here we go.
Good afternoon, Freezy. Oh, you guys do everybody now.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up? Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, man. How y'all today?
Salute, Uncle Freezy. Salute, D'Angelo.
What's up, CW?
What's good?
Oh man.
Hey, let me bring GI in real quick, okay?
Cool.
All right.
up, G.I.?
Yeah.
All right, I got one more person. Yo, what's good, everybody?
AD.
Don't that beat make me sound like a snake charmer?
Hey, that beat is smooth though. That beat is smooth. I won't lie to you. Yo, so just off rip, I know you guys like to say. Is that me? No, somebody phone. Okay, all right. So clearly, so basically where I am is I may have had some tips, frustration bubbling up underneath that I didn't want to acknowledge.
Let her rip.
Yeah, man. We have to address it, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Yo, worldwide L's in the building. Chef, what's good?
Yo, Freeze, I don't get no frying pan burning, no fire, no barbecue grill. I don't get no intro like that. Come on, Freeze.
Yeah. I've been slacking this last week and a half, bro. I promise I'll do better. I'll do better next time, bro.
I gotta get some saute pans working or something. You know what I mean?
I was thinking about some old school hip hop, Isley Brothers style intro. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. That's what I was thinking, man. But I've been slacking this last 10 days or so, man.
Yeah, I was good. CWC was good. AD was good.
Worldwide, what's going on?
What's up,
what's going on?
Yeah. So I as I was watching the game unfold last night, I was like, what the hell is Tibbs doing?
Thank you.
It's legit. I was legit watching the Cavs trying to lay down for the Knicks, and he wouldn't let them. He's like, oh no, we don't want y'all to lose this game. We gotta lose
it. That's right.
Oh, clearly, bro. This clearly the Kevin Love moment at in the third quarter. That should not have even been a thing, man. That should not have even been a thing.
No way.
Oh my goodness.
That was a disaster, man. Tibbs is man.
For me, before I let y'all, no offense, because good, bad, or indifferent, Tibbs has earned what he's earned. Good, bad, or indifferent, Randle's earned what he's earned. Good, bad, or indifferent, RJ has earned what he's earned. Good, bad, or indifferent, IQ he's earned what he earned. I am 100% riding with Uncle Freezy on the Obi. If Obi can't take minutes from Taj Gibson, we got a serious problem, and that's a conversation in and of itself. Right. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off something positive, because sometimes you just don't tip your hat enough to your competition. Sometimes you go in as the lesser team and you start looking at why you didn't win instead of paying attention to why someone else is winning. The Cavs are 29-19. In the beginning of the season, you guys, all you brilliant Knicks fans, and you know what? Include me in that. We got ourselves as a better team than the Cavs. The Cavs going to go out and start an average roster age of 22 years old. G.I. going to jump up and down and tell you, Freezy, that can't win. That's rolling the soft tank. At least they rolling the soft tank. Well, the Cavs told me, take your soft tank and shove it. Cavs take a 20-year-old point guard, 21-year-old two guard, a rookie they just drafted, a 24. Did they draft the Ward kid? Because boy, does he go out there and just play basketball and be what he's supposed to be.
Dean Wade, yeah.
Dean Wade. Did they draft him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they
yeah. And then they throw in the middle Eric Davis, 32-year-old Eric Davis. And then what do? And then what do? Kevin Love, they've been hanging on to him forever, and they like, well, who is he? Right? What is he? But you know what? We'll hold on to him. We'll go get Rondo because Rubio is hurt. But what do? They don't start Rondo. They don't start crazy boy from New York, Lance Stevenson. They don't start Kevin Love.
Right.
They supplement these young guys. It goes to show that our management is doing it wrong. It goes to show that our coach is doing it wrong. The Cavs just looked us in the face, win, lose, or draw, and then look at the quality wins. They beat Brooklyn. They beat Milwaukee. They beat Chicago. They beat Miami. They beat Atlanta. And they're 1.5 game out of first place in the Eastern Conference. So I ain't gonna beat myself up on the Knicks today. There's so much, but I'm gonna beat myself up on the Knicks as I look at the Cavs and say that's what we were supposed. That if we can't do what the Cavs are doing right now, then New York.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the thing to that speaking point, right? So here's the thing to that speaking point. Their point guard is a lottery pick, right? Their power forward, the dude that played power forward and center for them last night, is a lottery pick, right? The guy Isaac Okoro, the guy that was keeping them in the game early on, he's a lottery pick. He's the guy that they picked over Obi Toppin, right? And you know what all those 3 kids have in common? They play significant minutes.
Significant.
Yes.
So they play significant minutes, right? So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Kevin Love that you mentioned, Kevin Love doesn't play significant minutes.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And so I understand where you're coming from.
Thank you.
What I am frustrated by Tom Thibodeau, where I'm frustrated at is if you have to play Evan Fournier, right? Because you gave him a contract, right? If you have to play, if you got to keep Cam Reddish or the other young guys on the bench because of Evan Fournier, where was that dude with the big contract at the end of the game when we needed?
Thank you. That's right.
So if he's that important, where was he when you needed something important to happen? At the end of the game, where Randle and Noel bumped into each other like Keystone Cops, trying to generate some offense. RJ Barrett threw up a 25-foot 3 and missed. Emmanuel quickly shot
from my living room.
Oh my! And listen, if Quickly had been hot that game,
stupid,
and hoisted that shot, I'd have been like, okay, he was feeling it. But
he was 1 for 9 before he took it.
Thank you.
Where was the $78 million man when we needed that shot?
I would have taught him a new one when he took that shot from a different area code. Tibbs doesn't do that. He loves Quickly. Right. He lets him do whatever he wants to do out on the damn court.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah, damn. That pissed me off when he took that shot. I said, what the frig are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
By the way, how much time was on the shot clock, fellas?
And sticking to their
when he took the shot.
Point.
Yeah, shot clock was running down.
And sticking to the point.
No, it was like 13 seconds on the shot clock when he took that shot.
Yeah. It was 2 over because he jacked up one. One was one. Okay, yeah. You talking?
And
the one he took that shot, it was like 13 to 16, like in between 16, 13 seconds left. So he had the time to do whatever he wanted to do. And he hoisted that shot.
Lifetime. It's a lifetime, man.
But that goes back to part of what we were saying, because we were talking about it last night, right, Freeze? And AD was in the building with us last night about. See, I didn't have a problem with Tibbs subbing out Obi at that time, but we corrected where that mistake, and we came out with the same solution that you said about maybe we should have took somebody else's minutes, not so much subbing in for Obi. Should have subbed in for Taj or one of them other guys and took their minutes away. You know what I mean, down the stretch. But it's one of them games. One of our problems that I seen yesterday down the stretch is we wasn't no point guard out there with us, and you having IQ run the ball and facilitate, and then it ran into a problem. We ran into a problem when we needed to facilitate and score. The one person had the ball in his hand. You know what I mean? And I thought that was the problem.
And who keeps forcing him in that position?
Thank you.
You're right, Tips.
There you go.
Tips.
He's forcing this young man to be something that he's not. There was a play in that fourth quarter where, and I'm gonna say this for the Cavs. Cavs are shorthanded. The Cavs are guarding man up, right? No tricky zone, nothing. Man for man, man up. And when Quickly got the ball, I can't remember how much time was on the clock, but his defender knew he can't take me. Why? He has no in-between game. I don't have to worry about him inside of the 3-point line, because if he's not doing that foul line finger roll, half hook, whatever, he has nothing in between. Zero. So if you don't, so if he doesn't have 5 feet between him and the defender to take that 35-foot ill-advised 3, that for some particular reason the coach is enamored with him doing that, it's like he can do that 8 or 9 times and he'll walk off the court and Tibbs say, "Good job, boy. Good job. Good job." Obi would try and get a fast break started. He'll try and get a fast break started and do an ill-advised pass, and he got to walk off, and he better not walk next to Tibbs.
So I do see that, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. I see it. I see that, man. I mean, it ain't even, man. You don't even Tibbs that have to trick me into that, to seeing that, right? But there's this thing though. What I want is a fair and equal competition for minutes.
That's right.
Don't tell me that Taj is better than Obi. When I watched Taj yesterday, I'm like, why is he even out here?
He looked old like yesterday.
And slow.
Big time.
And so
and
let me.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. We got so many people coming in, man. Let me bring in Jay Boogie, okay?
About to explode.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting. You can see my vision through the podcasting. But don't forget Jay Boogie when I'm broadcasting. I'm podcasting, he's podcasting. I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them blowing tears.
Yo, Jay Boogie, what's good?
Yo, what's cracking, Jay Boogie?
Yo, what's shaking and baking? G Money, not the one from Jack City, but the real Jack City, shaking and baking. What's up with y'all guys, man?
Hey, what's
What's good?
Hey, guys, I just want to let y'all know, man, we got plenty of time. So if I come through and cut you off, man, we got plenty of time to rock, man. So my bad.
I'm good, man.
I'm gonna step aside, let somebody else get the spot. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yo, Al, where you going, man?
I gotta open up the cafe. I just wanted to come on and hang out with y'all guys. I was waiting all morning for Free to come on. I was waiting all morning. I was sitting here by my desk like.
I'm at work right now, so I just wanted to come on for a brief segment. But I know you got to open up the cafe because you got important guests coming over at Red Cafe.
Yeah, I got to open up. I'll be back though.
All right. Hey, Chef, when you come back, well, I'll tell him when he come back. But yeah, man. So the deal is with what we saw and what we keep seeing is if this were a mere function of Taj Gibson outplaying Obi Toppin every night, then I could at least, in fairness, say, you know what? You know, he just outplaying Obi, man, and Obi just need to show more. But then
Obi had a good night.
Yeah, but for Obi have to hit 2 or 3 3-pointers to stay in the game, man, come on,
that's not fair.
It's disrespectful.
When have you ever seen Taj Gibson hit 2 or 3 3-pointers in a game?
Never.
Right.
Never.
That's my point. So why would you hold Obi to such a standard, man?
That's not fair to him. It's not. It's horrible.
Right, and it's unfair to everybody. It's the unfair double standard. And so I watched RJ running around the court last night. He didn't have his best game defensively or offensively, but you could tell the effort is there.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
The effort
Number
is
one,
always
man.
there. Right? But how do you play RJ all these minutes, bro? You play RJ all these minutes, right? And you not even can. Who's RJ? Who's RJ's backup? Grimes? Is it Grimes?
Yeah, I think it is Grimes. Yeah,
Grimes.
Yes, Grimes.
Yeah, and so Grimes did. So who else do we have? On
the wing, there's also Burks. There's also Cam Reddish supposed to come, but we don't know when he's going to play.
Yeah.
There's
God
Burks.
forbid he put him in for a few minutes. God forbid he put him in.
God forbid Tibbs let him get sweaty, right?
Just a little bit. He looked. You could see he's sitting there. Everybody was celebrating. He wanted to get out there. You got to play him. You got to play him.
At least a few minutes, not a whole lot. But at least give him
not a whole lot. Yeah,
at least give him some burn if you're fifth.
That's something.
The seasons could slip away if you don't use the rotations right. I mean, I'm happy. I apologize for interrupting everybody. I apologize.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool.
I'm happy that we battled back after being down by 15 in the fourth quarter. However, here's the thing that killed me last night. 1, the missed free throws. 10 missed free throws, especially in the second half. Noel missed 2. I think RJ missed a few. Randle missed 2 in the second half. Also, Kevin Love, there was love in the air in that third quarter, man. He looked like Minnesota Kevin Love in that third quarter. Man, his jumper looked good in that third quarter. Also, no one talks about this. The offensive rebound.
Who did he hit those threes on, G-Money? Who did he hit those threes on?
I think he hit those threes on. It had to be on top. Randle. It had to be Randle, I think.
Yeah.
That was Randle guy.
Right, and also what killed me too, the offensive rebound. Remember, we were tied at 91. Mobley missed a jump at the foul line. You got to grab that rebound. Yeah. They give up the rebound, and Darius Garland hit the free ball at the left corner. If you grab the rebound, who knows?
Yep. Because what happened is how we got to that point, how we got to that score. Well, was not like we climbed all the way back and blah blah blah. If I remember correctly, we took the lead from, I think we were tied 89-89, and we
91-91. It was 91-91.
And we took the lead at 91-89, and then they tied it up.
No, we didn't take the lead 91-89. No, Cleveland was up 86-71, and then later I think Dean Wade hit a 3 90-84, and then something happened. It was tied at 91. We didn't get the lead in the fourth quarter. We were tied.
Okay. All right. So, man, you just confused me with a bunch of stuff. Right?
No, I'm just trying to tell you what happened in the fourth quarter, though. I'm just saying that we were down 15, came all the way back to tie it up. We had an opportunity to get the lead if, like I said, if
RJ Barrett didn't hit free throws to get to 91.
Yeah. He missed 5 free throws, RJ Barrett.
Let me go back just to be sure, because
I know RJ hit free throws to make it 93, 94. I know that.
But he missed 5 free throws too.
He did.
Yeah, but that ain't what we getting at, CWC. What the point we getting at is Cleveland was threatened late in this game, regardless how we got to 91-91. But Cleveland was threatened, right? And instead of us drawing up one of our better plays, we had Julius Randle and Nerlens Noel doing Keystone Cops at the top of the key.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. And so what happened is from that point through the rest of the game, our offense looked atrocious.
We didn't score. We didn't hit a bucket the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
the last bucket wasn't push off by, and again, the last bucket was ironically a push off by Randle for the layup to tie the game. That was it.
on Rondo.
On Rondo.
He got away with that. He got away with that.
That was an offensive foul, but hey, we got away with that.
Yeah, they got away with stuff too. But
yeah.
They got they got away with a lot of stuff early in the game, and then during the Love run, there was a lot of moving screens for Love. A lot of moving screens for Kevin Love to get them shots off. And so you can't complain either, because if we got away with some stuff and they got away with some stuff, man, you really can't. As long as the officiating was consistently bad, you just know it's all bad. You know what I'm saying? But bad for both sides. You just don't want it to be just bad towards you and good towards them, right? But the point that I was getting at is man, this stupid camera.
I'm buying you a new camera.
Yeah, I know. The setup is frustrating me, but anyway. I got you. My frustration, though, is
Anthony, the music. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is if you knew that our offense was struggling, where was Evan Fournier late? You brought him in this season
with that contract.
For
4 years, $78 million deal.
Right, for offense.
The hell.
And where was he?
And he was drinking Gatorade watching the play.
Right. And it's
21 minutes. 7 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. That is hard, show.
Fournier's a good player, but he's inconsistent. Fournier, the thing with Fournier, we kind of should have saw this coming. He's always been inconsistent his whole career. He was inconsistent in Orlando, inconsistent in Denver, inconsistent in Boston. He's inconsistent now. He's a good player that can put the ball on the floor and can shoot, but sometimes when his shot is off, he doesn't really have an impact. When his shot is on, he's on. When he's off, he's off.
Right. So the thing with that too, and that's a great point. Right, but the thing about that though is Tibbs. If I think Tibbs believes so much in his in-game strategy, that he's not willing to change. Yeah, exactly. Change the in-game strategy. Let me bring in Chuck real quick. What's good?
Luke, Chuck.
Chuck, what's good? It's good to see you, man.
Luke. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, so we were just chopping it up about little things that we saw during the game, and everybody can be the Monday morning quarterback, right? And to be honest with you, the backup quarterback is always the most popular quarterback in town, right? But the thing about that though is when you review certain things, some things we look at from last night's game, you were like, clearly there is some obvious misgivings here, right? Somebody's not being honest with the fan base, with the players and themselves, right? And the reason why I say that is how to me, after watching last night's game, I was like, yo, you know what? It took a Herculean effort just for Obi to stay on the floor.
Wow.
Obi Toppin had to knock down 3 3-pointers in a game in order to stay on the floor. Is there a game that you've ever seen that Tip said, well, Taj has got to knock down 3-3-pointers in order to stay on the floor?
And
because he plays his favorites. He plays his favorites. He plays his favorites. Let me say something I don't know who said that Fournier was a good ball player. But before getting traded to Boston last year, when was Fournier in a winning situation?
That's hard to think about.
You see, it's easy to put up numbers in Orlando. It's easy to put up numbers in Denver before Jokic and Murray and those guys got there. It's easy to put up numbers when no one really cares about basketball in these cities. Fournier is an average ball player. When they signed him, I said they were 75 ball players that I would take before Fournier. Since then, there's about 105 ball players I would take over Fournier. Fournier is not a winning ball player. It's not. You know how many good open looks Fournier got last night?
I guess he only bricked all of them. I'm 10 and missed almost all of them.
He's too inconsistent.
He's always been inconsistent. He's always been inconsistent.
Now Fournier could ball. He just didn't have it last night.
Yeah, he's not consistent.
Hey, you know who they have it? You know who they have it last night? And several games? Burks got to go, man.
Alec Burks, oh my God. Alec
0
Burks
points again.
He had the same amount of points as us in the panel. He had the same amount of points as us in the panel. He had a glazed donut with sprinkles last night. Zilch, nada, zero, bagel.
And we have 2 point guards. 2 point guards. Walker didn't provide nothing for us with his bad
Didn't do
knees.
much.
And quickly.
Yeah.
What did he do last night?
If we need points, right? If we need points, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck. I just want to say one thing, Chuck. Hey, if we needed points, right? Why didn't you put Cam Reddish in?
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And so, go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to say, with the young guys and the guys that we think that can contribute, they're not going to get a chance to play unless certain guys are traded from the team and moved off the roster where Tibbs can't reach in the cupboard and grab them in times that we know that they should be sitting. Like Kemba Walker has to go, Evan Fournier has to go, Alec Burke has to go. Those three go, you'll see Tibbs has no choice but to play a Cam Reddish, because who else are you going to play? There's no Alec Burks, there's no Fournier. So who else you going to play in that position? You know, last night was that game was just garbage. It was garbage to watch. It was garbage to eat at the end that we lost on. What play was that?
Don't do that, Chuck. That wasn't a play. You know that wasn't a play.
You're not Kobe, Randle. You're not Kobe, man.
And he stands it. He makes the shot. He knew he wasn't going to make anything. He just hauled it up there. Like, what the hell are you doing?
If that was Kobe, that's probably going in, but that was not a.
Oh, please. You ain't going to make
no
shot at the end of the game.
It's just, hey, I'm just going to pop a shot airmail. It didn't hit.
So, Chuck, here's my question.
Yes, sir.
You paid a dude $78 million. Where was he at?
Exactly.
You're drinking
Gatorade. A touchdown last night. A touchdown.
We didn't pay him $78 million. We gave him $78 million.
Yeah. I know.
That man just got some free money. He does not show the Knicks fan base or the organization that he is deserving of that money. He's supposed to have proven us all wrong. We're supposed to be looking at him like, oh, that's a great signing. But I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna continue on going back and forth with all these types different scenarios as long as the office keep doing what they're doing. See, all this is on the office, man. Office gotta make a choice. Are we going with the youth? Or are we gonna try to get some better veterans in here for this team? We only can do one of the two things. You know what I'm saying? Until then, Tom is going to be stuck inside that spider web, and they're going to keep telling him there's no way home in the middle of that web until the office figure out what they're going to do, man. The office is going to have to make a decision. We're going to go forward with the youth, you know what I'm saying, and trade off some of this money and put some of this money back in James' pocket and let everybody have a little bit more patience and let you continue on seeing the development. As long as we can see the development and the young guys is getting their playing time and they developing and they prepping up for two more years down the road, 23, 24, that's when you want to take off. You want to keep going back and forth, putting this guy in, putting this guy, giving this guy money, putting this dude in the townhouse, putting this dude upstate in those houses and all that going back and forth. And then we just looking at one another and got the same opinion, the same scenario that they do not see and understand. Point blank. The office got to fix this thing and get it right. Trade deadline, trade everybody away and deal with the young. If not, get us some better players in there, besides the ones we got in there, because the ones that we got in here, they're not leaders. They're only veterans, and I don't want a veteran. I want a leader. Somebody can lead these guys in the right direction when times is wrong, when times is hectic, when times is hard, showing them where they need to be, this place, that place, how to pick their head up, how to fight, how to, pick their games up. That's what I want. I don't want no more leaders, all these guys 5 years, and we paying them this kind of money and that kind of money coming out of our tax pockets. Man, stop that, man.
Right.
Yeah, Kemba Fournier just don't fit. They just don't fit. They
don't. The Tibbs is too stubborn. He won't change his ways and make the right substitutions at the right times. It's almost like he'd rather lose a game than play something outside of what he wants to play. Playing Taj too many minutes. Playing his guy. Playing freaking Burks with no points. You see, he can't score. Put somebody else in there.
Alec Burks is struggling right now. Alec Burks was our fourth quarter. Alec Burks was our fourth quarter hero last year and earlier this year, but right now he's in a long slump.
Okay. Yep. Well, if he's in a long slump last night, take him out of the damn game. What are you playing
take him out of the game. Take him out of the game. And part of his slumps. Part of his slumps is that he's starting point guard 1 minute. He's off the bench sniper 1 minute. He's sometimes small forward 1 minute. You have a coach that's throwing him into like several different roles all in one
ridiculous
game.
If he says it's ridiculous. Put him in the small forward.
It's ridiculous. It's like that's not.
He's not a point.
He's not a point. He's not a point. He's not a small forward. He's just a good veteran that you can, because he won't complain. You can plug him in here and plug him in there, but you keep plugging him like he can, like he's the actually, solution to this hole in your bathtub. No,
that's right. And I want to throw this out there. Remember this one play, and people don't talk about this. New York was down 94-93. Why would Randle kick out to RJ for a three? We didn't need that shot. Oh,
yeah. That's right.
We forgot
instead of driving the ball
to the post, drive it to the rack, get yourself to the line, and bang it back out.
I don't want
the only shot block because of free throws. Because of free throws.
There you go.
Late game free throw situations with Randle.
Why? Because we probably missed one of them, or probably both of them, and we probably missed one of both of them, more than likely.
Yeah, that's why. Because when you mentioned that, I was wanting to ask you that a few moments ago. Like, why don't we just put the ball on the floor and go?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for RJ and Julius, like either one. If you guys are not comfortable touching the ball late, then you shouldn't be touching the ball late. You feel me? Like if you're scared to go to the free throw line, why are you touching the ball?
That's right.
That means G Money. That means we need a closer.
We don't have one. We don't have a guy that says, "Hey, take us home." We don't have one. Alec Burks technically kinda was that guy kinda in the regular season last year. This year he's just been a ghost. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I love that.
Be what?
And I love. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, all I was just going to say is that what I love the bright spot is Barrett owning up at the end of the game during the post game. I got to get better on free throws. I should have did my job at the free throw.
I respect
put
RJ.
all onus on himself.
I respect RJ for that. RJ Barrett,
big time.
RJ knows how to be accountable. Yes, RJ is flawed, but what I respect about RJ, he knows how to be accountable. He doesn't make excuses. He knows, what he needs to work on. I want to keep RJ for the long run because he's a young guy that wants to get better. So yeah.
Big time. He owned up to it.
Okay. Can Can I ask a question? I like RJ, but my question is, because a guy sits at the podium and says it's on me, I should get better at this, I should do that. At what point does the rubber meet the road and you actually do that thing and become better at, making free throws or late game decisions or whatever the case may be? Because we put a lot of emphasis on someone being accountable, but I think, just saying that, hey, it was my fault, and not getting better at the thing that you were terrible at, it makes it's all lip service. I don't want lip service.
I agree with
actions. We want actions.
You see Randle do that at the podium. He's hiding from the press. You see him holding up and missing those free throws. No, you don't want it. You don't want that in New York. Welcome to New York. If you don't like New York, then please leave. Trade him up for freaking something. I'm so sick and tired of this team's up and down, up and down. One game we win a good game, next game we lose a game, then we lose. With this schedule that's coming up, especially tomorrow,
we got Miami. That's a loss. Milwaukee. That's a loss. Sacramento. Who knows? Memphis. That's more likely a loss. The Lakers. I know the Lakers are playing poor basketball. That's a 50-50 game. But who knows? Maybe the Lakers might play inspired at home. Who knows? Maybe LeBron might go off in that game. Westbrook might show something. AD might go off. Who knows? Then you got to go to Utah. That's a loss because who knows? Mitchell might be back by that time. Gobert's going to be back by that time. Then we got to go to Denver. Remember, we got clobbered at home by the Nuggets without Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. And we haven't won a game there since 2006. So I don't expect us to win there. And then we got Golden State. Yes, Steph Curry is struggling right now, but the chef will probably start lining it up in that game more than likely. Or either Klay, even though Klay Thompson's hobbled and he looks rusty right now, maybe Klay might go off in that game, or Wiggins or Pooh or somebody.
Golden State's better than us without Klay.
I know that. I agree. I know. I'm just saying that the only game that's realistic that we might win is really Sacramento and maybe the Lakers. I said every other game I know is going to happen. So yeah.
So we're at that place that we saw coming, and we may regret that we didn't make the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
The preemptive decisions before we got to this bad place, because if we don't say shore up the late game scoring, find us a closer, if we don't shore up the point guard situation, if Obi Toppin doesn't start to get more minutes, because so the thing that irked me as I was about 6 o'clock this morning, as I look back on the game, the thing that irked me is, why does it take a kid to have Herculean efforts to get into the rotation and stay, when a vet can come in and just bumble his way through it and get consistent minutes?
Contracts.
Yeah, it's frustrating to me, man. And so that was the only justifier. If it's just about money, why don't we spend the money better?
That's right.
You know
allocate the money the proper directions. Yeah,
right. It's like D'Angelo. You get what I'm saying?
Of course I do.
Like if it's Fournier's 18 million and Noel's 10 million that stopped us from going to get a DeMar DeRozan.
No.
Why didn't we just go get DeRozan?
DeRozan could have helped though. I know we don't. Some people say that some people thought DeRozan and RJ wouldn't have worked. What do you think about that? Some people said DeRozan and RJ wouldn't have worked. Do you agree with that?
Well, how was RJ Evan Fournier working?
Horrible.
Okay.
But it's how much
DeRozan would have worked fine for me.
Right. And so because like, I'm sorry about cutting you off, D'Angelo and Chuck.
I'm cool, man. I back off when somebody says no, good.
But so here's my thing. Don't tell me about the impossibilities when our possibilities aren't working. Right. You get what I'm saying, G Money? Like why are you gonna tell why? Because the point that you made is an excellent point. The point was, Well, we don't know. Isn't RJ and DeMar DeRozan redundant? Do you think that'll work? Do you think Tibbs will play such and such? Yeah, and here's the thing: you brought in the other option, and it's clearly not working.
No, we're 11 seed, and I want to throw this out before you continue your point. The Atlanta Hawks. This relates to my point. The Hawks were 17-25 to start the year. They're only one game back in New York. Think about that. One game back in New York, and the Hawks have the horrible Kings coming up, the up and down Celtics, the up and down Lakers, and the average Raptors. The Hawks are probably going to go 3-1 or 4-0 in that span because they're starting to turn around. They won 4 in a row. We got the Heat, the Bucks, the Grizzlies, the Kings, and the Grizzlies. So if we're not careful, we may drop below Atlanta if we're not careful.
Right. And they're playing Kevin Knox every night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was about to say that. He's getting a ton of burn.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Knox is getting run every night, and they're winning.
Just trying to play better.
It's almost now like Cam is in a worse place now. Cam.
And Cam.
Hey, check this out. Did y'all see in the third quarter when Toppin was on the floor and there was he was with the young core and they was winning by like 10 points, and then Tibbs took him out and brought Randle back in, and then that's when the lead started getting short.
Yeah,
that's when the other team came back. I'm like,
well, Toppin hit a three. Toppin hit a three, right? And he pulled him right out and put Randle in. And then Toppin looked back. You're like, what's going on here? Right. What did I do? I just hit a three. I'm heating up. Let him play.
And then when Randle came back in, he had like 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Man, I'm like, are you serious?
What's going on? Yeah.
This team has no fun playing with each other. Last year's team has fun playing with each other. Last year's team had fun playing with each other. Yeah. Last year's team, they had flaws. Last year's team had chemistry. They had passion. Last year's team, to me, was not scared to fail. Yes, they had flaws. We can agree they were flawed. But last year's team was not scared to fail. This year's team is like, we're just too inconsistent. The Knicks are like a team like this. Salute Danny, by the way. The Knicks are a team that can blow the Warriors out one game and turn around and lose to the freaking Magic the next game. That's what the Knicks are. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, do y'all think this? The reason Tibbs keep on taking Toppin out, he don't want to see Toppin shine. He don't want everybody to see him shine to cover up Randle.
I'm 50-50 on that. I don't know.
I guarantee you that's going on, man. So why you want to take Toppin out of a good game?
He's having a very good game last night.
Yeah,
got 13 points.
Hit him, the wing three. Obi brought energy, man, last night.
Yeah, he did.
Obi, to me, I don't know if he's going to – Obi's a good player. I don't know if he's going to flourish in New York, man. If Obi Toppin was with the Kings or the team I'm also rooting for, the Suns, because I'm also rooting for the Suns too, or another team, let's say like a younger team like the Hawks or something like that, Obi would flourish. I don't know.
Phoenix, even Phoenix, G Money.
Yeah, I said Phoenix. Yeah, I said that.
Super Obi.
Mm-hmm. Obi, yes, Obi's flawed, but if you put Obi Toppin with a younger team, he will flourish.
Yeah, like Grizzly, like Grizzly. If he was
with John Moran and Dylan Brooks,
he would have been an all-star this year too, if he was with them,
or with the Phoenix, or my Phoenix Suns too. Yeah,
and I wanted to see I wanted to see some minutes out of Sims last night and McBride. That would have been a perfect. Yeah. It would have been something. We would have seen something good happen last night if we would have played them too. And I just feel it. You're feeling it. It's like Tibbs doesn't see that. I got to play Gibson because he's gone to war with me in the past. The guy's dying out there on the court because he plays too many minutes. He overplays this guy. He doesn't need to play that many minutes. It happens every time. This is every game we go through.
We're not gassing up Obi. Moneybag, we're not gassing up Obi. We're not saying he's a star. We're not saying that. Moneybag. Obi Toppin has flaws. Yes, he's a bad defender. He's not a good 3-point shooter.
He's not a good rebounder.
He's not a good rebounder. But what we're trying to say is that Obi would fit better on a younger team. We're not saying Obi is going to be a superstar. I doubt it. But I'm saying that Obi Toppin in New York, I don't think it's going to flourish because we barely play the guy at times.
Right.
I thought Obi played good defense too. I'm sorry, Uncle Free.
Well, the point that I'm getting at is not even about Obi's defense, right? My point is if you say, Tibbs, if this is open competition and this is what you require, then all of us should be able to track along with you. If you have clear standards, if you say you will get more minutes if you do this, right? Then we should see the guy getting more minutes do the thing you said. But when you put Taj out there, we don't see him doing all the extra stuff that you said. So why is it not that you're not giving these minutes to Jericho Sims and to Obi Toppin?
Yes, come
right?
on.
If you say I need more hustle or I need more such and such, right? Then we should be able to see. For instance, what does Taj get to bring to the table, y'all? What does Taj bring to the table that sets him apart from Jericho Sims?
Experience, hustle, all those, and he does the intangibles well.
And a little bit mid range. Well, he also has a better mid range shooter than Sims, but that's it.
He does, yeah.
But he does the intangibles. He knows where to be on the court. But his body won't let at his age, he can't do it anymore. He wants to. His brain's telling him, but his body can't.
Right.
That's what's going on here. But Tibbs goes to war with the people he's comfortable with. He won't change it up. He won't make the substitutions for a young guy. He'd rather lose with his guys than take any of the young guys in to win. It's constant and it's sickening.
And D'Angelo, D'Angelo, and to your point, I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if we ever spoke to this or not. I just want to bring it up and see what you think. Do you think he is leaning on Taj more as a vet since Derrick Rose is not there, but him to run in the ground? Is that what it is? Is Taj
for the inexperienced guys out on the court? You're saying because Rose is not there.
Yeah.
You know something? I don't know. I don't think so. Okay. I don't think he's doing. I don't think he's thinking that way. He just feels comfortable. He was going to play. I don't think he sees it as, he's going to keep everybody under control in the court. The young guys say, yeah, you be here, you be there, because he talks out there.
Right.
He wants the talkers out there to say, hey, you be there, shouting at guys.
Okay.
I don't see that. He's more yelling at the referees right now, Gibson, and not getting the call than anything. You see him just screaming it up. But I don't think that for that with the Rose thing, no. I don't. It's just my personal opinion.
So let me ask you this, just to make you laugh, man. Do you remember the Texas Rangers used to have a pitcher named Nolan Ryan?
Yeah.
You remember the dude? He was like the dude had this fastball. He used to call it the Ryan Express, right? Because not for one fastball, he called it the Express because it was going to keep coming all night. The Ryan Express, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and this is just for people to understand what I'm getting at. So the Seattle Mariners drafted these kids, and what seemed like back-to-back years. They drafted Ken Griffey's son, right? They drafted Jose Cruz's son. I don't know if anybody in here remember who Jose Cruz was for the Houston Astros. Right.
Yep.
They drafted a kid named Alex Rodriguez. They signed a kid. I forget. They traded for.
So Wally Joyner? No.
They traded for the Yankees. Had a power hitting right fielder. All he could do was hit for power, named Jay Buhner. But the Yankees had so many. They had so many outfielders.
Yeah, he was
that
good.
They traded him to Seattle. Yeah. And so this Seattle finally got all these kids in their lineup, and they happened to be facing the Ryan Express on Sunday Night Baseball, right? and so it was this thing where all these kids, they were like, Seattle's really gonna run out all these kids. They're gonna play Cruz and Rodriguez and this Griffey kid that's probably gonna be good and all these against the Ryan. And so they was like, well, Nolan already has seven perfect games. This might be the night. You know what I'm saying, for number 8. And I was like, a perfect game? You rarely see that. And so I forget what order it started, but I think it might have been the first inning. They come up and the Ryan Express has the bases loaded, right? And so he's like, yo, I'm gonna try to throw this get over fastball to get back in the zone. And he throws a fastball to King Griffey Jr. That's like 98 miles per hour, right? Back in the day, 90. Bro, listen. Back in the day, 98 was something. Yeah. Right now, everybody's throwing 98. It don't even matter. Everybody's throwing 98 now, but back in the day, he threw a 98 miles per hour fastball to King Griffey Jr. Right, and Griffey hit the ball so far. And that remember the big dome they used to play in, like the football dome they used to play in. Yep. Griffey hit the ball so far that Ryan lost track of it when it went over when it was going out of the thing, right? And so what happened was Ryan looked at the catcher. He was like, "Wow, did I miss my spot?" And the catcher looked at him like, "No, you didn't miss your spot." This young kid, is just that damn good, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the conversation they're having, right? And so he like, well, he got me or whatever. So he comes back up on the mound. The next pitch he throws, he's like, well, I'm gonna make sure this next guy know who I am. I'm Nolan Ryan, right? Jay Buhner hits his next fastball about 460 feet, right? And he was like, wow, the ball's jumping out of here today, man. What's going on? And the catcher's like, nah, it's not really jumping out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened was Ryan was starting to make the old man excuses. Like, what's wrong with this baseball? These bats must be caught. Nah, bro. What happened is Father Time catches up to everybody. That's regardless how good you were in your prime. Father Time catches up to everybody.
Unfortunately.
And so when I watch Taj Gibson argue with the referees, I'm like, Taj, you know what, man?
Stop.
Yeah, it's not the referees, bro. It's not the basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's not these rules. It's you. The game has passed you by, bro. And if you're a veteran, bro, you should be in that mindset. Well, you know what? I should start ceding some of these minutes to these young guys because they are the up and comers, man. I mean, it happened to Randy Johnson. I watched I forget the kid name from Philadelphia. I think it's Ryan Howard. Anybody remember Ryan Howard?
Yeah, I remember Ryan Howard.
I saw Ryan Howard hit a ball so far off the big unit that I was like, that would have never happened in his prime. But bro, you know, when you get to a certain age, man, you just can't expect to do certain things. And so that's the thing that I would expect from Taj and from Tibbs. Listen, Tibbs, if you have to come, because Tibbs yells all game. Tibbs, if you have to yell all game about certain things, maybe it's not the game, Tibbs. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. Yep. Yeah, and so I wanted to bring that up, and I hate that I had to use a far-fetched example.
No, I love it, man. That's great.
But with Tibbs, when you're a 64-year-old coach that had so much time pass by, you have to consider that maybe it's the man in the mirror and not everybody on the floor.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bravo.
That's right. Learning how to adapt.
Right.
You know, with the times and go with the times. And like what you said, no, it was great points. I just say, and also, you know, thinking about the young guys not getting back. So now Grimes is in. Tibbs Plays Grimes all the time now. Now you're going to tell me McBride's not ready, Sims not ready to play?
Right.
He's playing Grimes.
Right.
First year right out. And he's showing. He's doing something. He's doing very good.
Hey,
play the other guys.
Who he want to play. He want to play who he want to play, and he want to develop who he want to develop.
I'm going to throw up from this. I can't take it with Tibbs. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Quickly threw a bad shots last night, but you gonna sit Toppin down, and he scored like 3 3-pointers. Come on, man.
Right, and Obi Toppin shot the ball with confidence last night, and
I loved it.
He played well. The only thing Obi needs to work on is get a mid-range shot, maybe post up in the block, maybe be a better. He's not a horrible free throw shooter, but if he could be more aggressive, if he can work on those things, he'll be fine. Be a better defender, rebounder. But if he can work on those things, he'll be fine. But Obi Toppin, he's a good player, though. He's a pretty decent.
And maybe
player.
McBride could be the point guard right now.
Mm-hmm.
I wish.
Not Kemba.
Kemba and Fournier just don't fit. I knew they were not going to fit. Because here's the thing: Kemba can score, but this is the hobble Kemba. This isn't Charlotte Hornet Kemba. Like, he has knee injuries now, and also Fournier. I said this like a gazillion times. He's always been inconsistent his whole career. It's like, what do we expect? Like,
right?
It wasn't. I didn't think we'd be 23 and 25, but it's like I never felt we're going to be top 4 in the East. I never felt that going into the year because I thought the teams would get better. Miami got better. Chicago got better. Who else got better? Brooklyn's still there. Milwaukee. Cleveland got surprisingly better. Philly's still there. Washington, Toronto, Charlotte, Boston.
Right.
Atlanta was horrible to start, but it starts turning things around. So it's like, I didn't like. Yeah, go ahead. Right?
I'm sorry, Giovanni. Go ahead, Giovanni.
No, go ahead, D'Angelo.
No, all I'm going to say is you can't have quickly running the point. He's not a point guard. He's not a point guard.
No.
He makes too many bonehead decisions. He's always looking for a shot.
He's a 2.
He's not making his teammates better.
He's a 2. He's
not.
not a 1.
Yeah.
Obi's more of a 2 guard. He's not a 1.
So play McBride. Let me see McBride. But it's not going to happen with this coach. So we're not kidding ourselves. And I'm tired of looking for little positives in a loss. That ain't going to work for me. I can't handle it.
The only positive,
that's positive. This is positive. There's no positives. We lose. We lost.
The only positives from last night's loss is RJ attacking the rim, Obi Toppin, Grimes hitting threes. That's the only positives. That's it.
And Julius Randle looked like he wasn't in a funk last
night. 6 for 17.
Yeah.
He didn't look too miserable yesterday, right, Freezy?
Yeah,
he was average last night. He was average.
He was all right. Not great. He was all right.
Yeah, if you just go by how the game played out, it looked like he was there. Now, a lot of those shots he forced up last night at the end of the game, I know they count officially, but I mean,
take it to the basket, Randle. Just go to the hole. My God, go to the hole.
Correct. He can do that. He did that last year. Yes, he's a perimeter player. We all know that. But last year, he mixed it up in the post, mid-range, fadeaway, 3. Now he's setting for too much of the jump shot. Go in the block, man. Even look at the T-Wolves game in the second half. I know he was 6 of 15 in that game, but if you watch the game in the second half, he was banging guys in the block. Do that, man.
He was physical.
He was physical with Towns in that. Go to the block. Unless the jump is available, go to the block, yeah?
Nobody could have stopped him last night in the post, man. He could have went to the post. Where's the coaching staff doing?
And
what's the coaching staff doing?
And what are we waiting for as fans with this team? What are we waiting for? To get better? What are we waiting for?
The whole wait and see thing is over. The whole wait and see thing is kind of over. Again, I know.
I don't want to get. I agree with you, G-Man.
The whole we have to see. See what? What is there to keep waiting and seeing about? Like, you gotta be realistic.
What are we waiting for? Yeah. Like, what are we waiting for?
And I hate it when people want to create all these hypotheticals. You can't keep going off hypotheticals. Oh, a team could get hurt and we can take advantage. We've lost to injured teams all year, though. What can we get hurt? You can't go off hypotheticals, right? We can get hurt too. So
hey, G Money, and guess what? We are hurt right now.
Yeah,
our team is with Mitchell Robinson out. See, I think Mitch is probably one of the pieces that could have helped us win last night, but with him not being available.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
And then Nash hurt his ankle.
and then
Rose hurt his ankle.
And so with Rose out, we don't get that combination of late game scoring and how it impacts with how defenses defend Alec Burks now. See, because Alec Burks could score with Derrick Rose on the floor.
True.
Right? But since Derrick Rose has been out, Alec Burks has not been the same. Right. It's like the minute things that we don't necessarily pay attention to are the things that are probably driving us further and further away from being efficient. And so I don't think it calls for a personnel move, right? Because if Burks self-corrects when Rose gets back, then I would rather keep Rose and Burks and let them self-correct when Rose gets back, as opposed to trading Burks for a guy, and then that guy coming in may not fit, take some time to get oriented to the Knicks, then Rose gets back, then he got to get used to playing with Rose, and then you looking for a Alec Burks type guy in the offseason. When all you had to do was just
Burks is a good role player. He's good in a certain role, not a starter. He's not that. He's a good role player. Getting spot up. I mean, and that's what he is. But we're Tibbs is putting more. Putting more. You got to have the ball in your hand, create. He's not. That's not what Burks is. He's not doing that, and he's not doing that. He didn't do that last night for hell of it. He didn't do it.
Right.
Nope.
And it's
so I'm hard on this team, man.
Yeah, man. And they deserve to be hard on however we phrase it. So, but because these teams that we're losing to, bro, we're not,
and they're not even healthy neither. Cleveland didn't have Jared Allen, Rubio, and Marketing. Cleveland was banged up too.
Right.
Everyone makes it 5 people.
Right. And so Paris Duggar, thank you for your generous contribution. Paris Duggar says,
and Sexton. Sexton to that score, my fault.
Oh yeah. So Paris Duggar says, waste of breath talking about anything other than Tibbs. He's horrible with a feel of the game.
I agree.
Feel of his players and creating this Randle climate. And
that's
you know
right.
what? I after watching last night, man, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with, because they had guards out last night, right? They were basically down to Garland and Rondo, basically.
Yep.
And McBride got 0 minutes. So instead of you going shooting for the jugular, we rock with Kemba and McBride. I mean, I'm sorry, Kemba and Quickly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Combination of nothing last night, because they didn't do anything for us to win that game.
Yeah, Kemba. At this point, I've pretty much dealt with the fact that Kemba. This is Kemba. Kemba's a decent player, but this isn't Kemba of Charlotte. He's more hobbled now.
No, waive him, please. Do something.
Are you sure they're going to waive Kemba? I don't know if they're going to do that. You think they'll waive him?
Nobody's going to take him. Who's going to take him?
Yeah, ain't nobody going to trade for $8
But his team, who's going to take him? You're going to trade his team.
That's a good point. But would you trade? I would want to trade Fournier, but who wants Fournier to this point?
Our team would take him.
But where you trade him? Where would you trade him to? That's the thing.
A lot of teams would get him, like Phoenix Suns, Golden State Warriors, or a championship would take on Fournier because he's a 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
a lot of people looking for that 3-point shooter. Yeah, if you have a point guard, and that could take it to the hole and take it back out, and Fournier open, that's 3 all day.
Well,
I agree with you.
If they were to make a trade to Phoenix, let's say that trade Fournier to Phoenix, hey, we can give my other team Shamet. We can get New York and Phoenix can trade Shamet to get Phoenix can trade Shamet to get Fournier if that would have happened.
I don't think they got the same contract though. The money had to match.
I was thinking what Chuck said about Westbrook.
What were you about to say, Chuck? You about to say something?
You think we should get Westbrook? I would not mind Westbrook, but I don't think that's going to happen.
He would light up the garden, and he passes too.
He does pass, rebound. He's still athletic. Yeah, he may not be.
I agree with Chuck.
He may not be the Westbrook of old, but he's still a good player. Yeah.
Now let me add a little bit to that. Westbrook trade. The only reason why I brought up Westbrook, because I was thinking about what teams could use the guys that we have to make a championship run. And the only teams that I could think of offhand that we could unload most of our guys, or at least, Kemba and Fournier, I thought about the Philadelphia 76ers, and I thought about the Lakers.
Right.
I know a lot of people don't want Russell Westbrook, but I said that, we'll have him for the rest.
He's a head case. He's a head case.
Ben Simmons is more of a head case, in my opinion. Well, Ben
Knicks is a head case.
But Westbrook, I would not mind Westbrook. At least Russell Westbrook. I'm not saying he's a great shooter. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Chuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm not saying he's a great shooter, but he occasionally can't give you a jump shot, unlike Ben.
I'm not. Again, some of these trades that y'all want to trade guys for. Why would those teams want those long contracts? Especially the teams that are rebuilding, like Sacramento. Well, we can trade these guys to Sacramento. Like Sacramento's rebuilding. They don't want Fournier for 3 years.
Good point.
But a team, like I said, the Philadelphia 76ers, or the Lakers, they're trying to make a championship push.
That makes sense. Yeah,
and these teams are ready to make that move. Like the Lakers need help. The Lakers been struggling all year. And like I said, with the Russell Westbrook thing, you only have him for the rest of this year and next year, and then his money is off the books, because I think next year is like a player option.
But Chuck,
what is he making a year? What is he making a year?
42.
40.
So 40?
40
Okay.
No, 42.
Yeah,
You're right.
well, he's making $44 million this season. Westbrook,
Okay.
$44 million this season.
Okay. So let me clarify my man point real quick. I gotta bring in Sam real quick first though. Sam, where's your intro? Oh, there it is. All right. Yo, hey, y'all notice this is the only joint, man, where cats legit have intros.
Hey, I still appreciate you, Freezy. I still appreciate you for that. Salute to y'all.
The best network.
Salute, Sam.
Cats legit have intros. This is so funny.
But I'm gonna let y'all ride out. I just wanted to get in and be a part of this, but I know Chuck's about to make his point.
Yeah. I wanted to let me say this thing to Chuck real quick. I just wanted to clarify, so people can have an understanding what Chuck is talking about. So you trade for Westbrook this year, and you eat his money, and you deal with his stupid attitude. This year. For what, 35 more games, 36 more games. Hopefully the playoffs.
34.
Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So then check this out. At the beginning, or as soon as the season is over, Russell Westbrook has the most desirable contract in the NBA, because once the 2022 season is over, Russell Westbrook is on an expiring contract, right?
Yeah.
I think it's, what is it, 47 million next year, something like 40 something. It's a lot of freaking money.
It's a lot of money, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, instead of a team saying, "Hey, I don't want Russell Westbrook. He's trash. I don't want him to ruin my locker room." Now they're like, "Yo, I'll give you first round picks for Russell Westbrook, because in 2023, the summer 2023, I'll have $47 million coming off my salary cap in one fell swoop." Right? So the teams will be willing to trade for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, The thing about that though is, what do you do with Westbrook in the interim? Because you know he gonna want to play, he gonna want to start, and he gonna want to.
Yeah, he wants to be number one. He wants to be number one.
Right. I got several issues with that. Chuck, I understand what you're saying with the Westbrook thing, but you have to think about Tibbs and Randle. Those bad combinations, because all three of them got big egos, and make it so bad, we will get 26 turnovers a night. So you got Randle making Randle got 6 turnovers. RJ with 7 turnovers, and then Westbrook with 10 turnovers.
And
he's been awful for the Lakers. Been awful.
And also, people keep saying Ben Simmons, and again, I'm not trying to make this a Ben Simmons hate video. I'm not, but mainly what I don't personally, for me, I don't want Ben, because Ben can pass, but like you just said, CWC, Ben is egotistical too. Let's be honest, and also Ben Simmons is not reliable at the free throw line. Same thing with Randle and RJ, and also I don't think Ben will handle New York. I just don't want Ben Simmons on the team. Hang on.
All right.
No, I want LeBron. I ain't want to Ben. I ain't want to Ben.
So
I know. I'm just making a point.
Yeah, and so Chuck had a great point, man. But every time we get into it, you know what I'm saying, we start pointing out stuff, and I just want to highlight some of the stuff that Chuck was saying by even entertaining a Russell Westbrook trade.
What would you give up for him, Chuck? Chuck, what would you give up for him?
I would give up all of the veterans that we're complaining about that is getting too much time. I'll give up a Fournier. I'll give up a Kemba. I'll give up a Burks. I'll even give up a Noel to make the money. Right. That's a perfect. Those 4 guys are perfect money for Westbrook. I'll bring back some of their, because we got to probably take some players back, but I'll take back those two-way players and some of those young guys that don't get much playing time with them. That's in a year and a half. That's $47 million off of our books in a off season where the draft is supposed to be the most stacked draft, because now you get to draft high school guys, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But if we don't do this, we still have a bunch of guys on the books that and roster spots that are filled. Like I don't like Russell Westbrook per se. I don't think he
team guy.
He's better than Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
I'll take him over Kemba Walker.
I agree.
Sorry.
Go ahead. But how?
No, I just wanted to say, how much damage can he do though, within that span of time of him being here? With his mentality.
What kind of damage are you talking about?
But just his mentality, the way he is. I think he's bad locker room material.
Him and Randle, him and Tibbs. It would be a WWF. Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion with how much damage he could do in that span of time. I understand what you're saying, Chuck, with maybe making that trade and getting rid of the guys that we're fighting about, but just how much damage this guy could do in the locker room with these young guys, and their mentality.
But no one's ever said Russell Westbrook has come in and destroyed their locker room. Nobody has said that. All the teams that he's been with, no one has said, his attitude is the reason why our locker room or our team is falling apart. Listen.
Well, then maybe on the court he would do more damage to development and things like that.
How would he damage
him wanting the ball the whole time? He's chucking up shots himself. That making development for the younger guys if they get burnt out there.
So can we say the same thing? So we can say the same thing about Emmanuel Quickly, right? Because Emmanuel Quickly chucks up shots.
No, he does.
He doesn't pass the ball to anybody. Does that stunt the development?
No, if we're going to compare the two, then if we're going to compare the two, him and Quickly.
Well, the thing about
I think we just talk about the personality or on Westbrook.
That's basically
it's going to be a lot of negative. It's going to be a lot of negative than positive. Because him and Randle going to get into it. And him and Tibbs going to get into it. Can he be in front of the media, the New York media, and blasting Tibbs out?
I don't know if Westbrook is the ideal fit personality-wise.
Oh, no,
but in terms of
finances,
team building, and structure, like what Chuck Allen said. Everything else, I think, fits. But like what Chuck said, the money fits.
But what's
Getting
the
rid of
future plan with Westbrook?
because what Chuck is the main thing Chuck is talking about is what we'll be getting rid of versus the return.
No, I understand that aspect of it.
If Russell Westbrook's name was Mike Conley, then I don't even think we'd be even having this conversation. I think everybody would be like, man, yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Or if Westbrook's name was Chris Paul, everybody would be like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But what Russell Westbrook brings on certain nights is the redundancy of things that we don't like.
Right.
Ineffective shooters, high volume, inefficient scorers. You know what I'm saying? They have to have the ball. Because if you get Westbrook, that you automatically cancel out RJ. You could just take RJ too. You could take RJ Barrett and put him in mothballs right away. Right.
And mind you, I don't think the organization is thinking about Westbrook on their radar to make this move to do this. This is hypothetical.
Listen, gentlemen. This is something that I came up with on my own. How to make our team function as a team. I don't think we should go out and get Russell Westbrook.
No, but that was a good idea.
If we want our team, if we want our kids to play, like someone just put in the chat, what about John Wall?
It's not the same scenario.
The Houston Rockets are not trading their young guys to bring in some old veterans.
He hasn't played in a year. John Wall hasn't played in a year. That's another thing that to consider. There's an Achilles.
But Chuck's point though, just real quick, the Houston Rockets are not starving to make a championship run. They're in a rebuild. The Lakers want help desperately.
Right. To win now.
Yeah, that was the whole premise of it.
No, I mean, I know what Chuck was saying. I know what he was saying.
That part.
So it didn't work. It doesn't work with any big contract. This scenario that he mentioned is perfect because the Lakers want help to win right now. Right. And we would take on that bad contract and some type of sweetener, some type of draft picks, and give them all these veterans that are on these big
money.
Plush.
The Lakers are offering THT and the Kendrick Nunn right now. I don't think they're trying to shop Westbrook right now. I think they're trying to make it work and just.
Would you make that move, THT and Kendrick Nunn? Would you guys make that move? Would you consider that?
Yep.
I wouldn't be too mad.
But a point guard that I think will fit perfectly here would be Marcus Smart, in my opinion.
He's not a point though. Marcus Smart, I don't think he's a point. It's more of a forward.
Combo guard.
Guard.
Well, he can run a point though.
He can run. He can control the ball. I think he could. He's a fourth quarter player. He's big in clutch moments.
Man, you also like Aaron Rodgers.
Tibbs will love this guy. Yo, don't.
That's true.
Nah, we're not doing this right now. We're not doing no.
Yo, Aaron Rodgers is gonna be starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers next year,
and still be better than the Bears. What would that mean?
I'm just saying. He
can
wear.
When they put RJ as a point guard, for right now, when they do that, the Knicks.
So CWC, I'm gonna just say this to just wrap up what Chuck was saying, because I think what Chuck is saying is brilliant if you break down all the individual parts of what he's saying without assuming, because Chuck has never said he wanted Russell Westbrook to be the point guard of the future. He never said that. I think all the stuff. I think what he's saying leading up to it, when he said it, and even now, is brilliant, right? Because he mentioned small things that we keep glossing over, like a deep 2023 draft, and by doing a trade, we'll have open roster spots. See, we glossed over that, right? And what we also glossed over too is all the cap space that'll be open for us to sign free agents in 2023. Because y'all's biggest thing is when we start winning, people are gonna want to come. That's what y'all have been saying. Oh, when we start winning, you know what I'm saying? So
ain't happened yet.
Yeah, well, that ain't happened yet either. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I think the possibility, the thought of it is brilliant in its essence, right? But when you start trying to make it complicated by saying, well, is Westbrook the point guard of the future? No, he ain't the point. Chuck Allen never said that. Unless you did, Chuck. Did you ever say that?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I don't think nobody said he was going to be our point guard for the future.
No.
We were just talking about his personality, what he would do. It would be more negative than positive if we get Westbrook with Randle and Tibbs and New York media. It would have been. Is it worth it to get them draft picks?
The good news is that Westbrook bringing excitement to the Garden, like what Danny says. That's the good news.
Right.
Yeah, but the only thing with Westbrook, he's going to be shooting up bricks.
But you already have point guards shooting up bricks. What's the difference?
Cinder blocks and yep, and then
we don't get a point guard. Uncle Free.
And if you get Ben Simmons, will be worse. So yeah, so good point there.
Right. And, you know what Tibbs does too, which makes no sense. Why not? Okay, this is why you should play the younger guys, because you're playing all your vets. You're burning them out. You're trying to make a playoff run. They're all going to be burnt out by the time you get to the playoffs. Maybe you should save them, save their legs. You know, let them get less minutes, keep them out, salt and pepper them in the game. And I mean, you can't do that with Fournier with his contract, but I think you get one with Taj and even Noel, who I'm not a fan of because he's always injured. This guy, but he had a okay game last night. But you're burning these guys out that are guys that are over the limit in age. You know, and what are you doing? Burning them out.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people say we should get Kobe White. Do you think we should get Kobe White?
I'm good on that. Nah, I'm not.
You don't think so?
Nah, I ain't good on Kobe.
Like, he doesn't move the needle for me as a point.
I think Tibbs need to put McBride and play Sims a little bit, man. That's what he need to do. He being stubborn, man. That's why,
he won't.
That's
he
why
won't.
Yeah, that's what
he's not going to do it.
Well, guys, since we know that, then we can't even think that way. We have to think in the route of getting other people because we know he's never going to do that. Then.
But see, and that was another point that I was making about that Laker trade, is that you get rid of all of those crutches for Tibbs that he likes to play a lot. Now you're forced to play young people because you don't have anybody else. You don't have a Burks now to reach for. You don't have a Fournier to give you wasteful minutes. You understand what I'm saying? Now you have no choice.
Chuck, you think he's not in line with the front office with these moves that they made with the Fournier and the so he wasn't in line at all. So they're on the separate path.
Not when you in a press conference says that you're looking for 6'8" wings.
Right.
And the front office gets you 6'4". Yeah. But it's funny. Let me address Paris Douglas thing real quick, and I'm gonna wrap up real quick after this, y'all. I'm gonna go around the table real quick after this. Paris Douglas, thank you for your generous contribution. Paris Douglas says Westbrook plays hard. We just need that first, and so I agree with that. I agree with that, man.
We know it's not going to happen, though. This is it's not going to happen.
You never know.
I don't think so. There's no way. That would clash with Tibbs and Westbrook.
And also, I don't think in the Lakers themselves, they don't want Kemba and Fournier. I don't think the Lakers would want that either, man.
Nah, it ain't going to happen. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you know what? I want Westbrook to come so I can see him and Tibbs go at it.
No,
I
think
you don't want.
So
I don't like Tibbs.
Just one last topic before we get out of here. And I'm gonna try to jump back on later, man. I just gotta get this stamina up, bro. But and I gotta get this camera working too.
Feel better, Freezy, man.
This camera is like, you know what I'm saying? This camera is like up and down, bro.
How you feeling, Freezy? How you feeling, man? You didn't give me your number, man. You didn't put it in the chat. I never got it, man. You never gave me your number.
Freezy ain't gonna put his number in the chat.
Bro, everybody here got my number, bro. I think.
No, I don't got your number. I ain't no slacker. I ain't no slacker.
Nah, man.
Yeah, we don't got your number, Uncle Freezy. That's how you
don't got it.
CWC, you was supposed to hit me up on social media. You supposed to hit me up on social media.
I don't know none of this social stuff, man.
That's not my fault.
Look
I said so.
Hey, who we got next to play?
See how you said?
We play Miami.
We got the Heat next.
Miami. We gotta go to Miami.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, on ESPN.
Sarcasm included on that.
Yeah, around ESPN. Oh boy.
Hey, so
and you know what?
We might beat Miami. Generous contribution.
The word "might" doesn't mean we will.
The Knicks
word
gets Westbrook plus 27, Lakers first round pick, Walker, Fournier, Burks, buyout Russ, free the kids, eat the bill, grab a first, and plan the package Julius, Rokas, McBride, and as many firsts we own for DeJounte Murray.
Sounds good. I don't know about that one though.
That's a lot.
I don't mind DeJounte Murray. I will not mind him.
Sound like a pipe.
Do you think the Knicks, and this is the question I've been trying to get to for a few minutes, right? And the reason why I ask these questions is because, man, I don't want to ask y'all easy basketball questions, man, all morning long, and then, have a boring conversation. I be want to ask y'all real questions, man. Do y'all think the Knicks are hell-bent on trying to trade for the Dallas Mavericks point guard, Jalen Brunson? Do you think that it's the Knicks' target?
He's on the board.
And if so,
sounds like it. Rumors has it. So
yeah, and if so, why are we willing to pay so much during the season when he'll be a free agent after the season?
But Uncle Freaky, I heard we don't got no money after. If he be a free agent, we can't sign him because we don't got no money.
We can sign him. We just
doesn't want 80 million or something. Doesn't want 80 million or something, Brunson.
That's reported. Yeah, it's a rumor. It's not actually what he's. I've been saying this for like the past month about Brunson. I don't think he's a bad player, but my deal with him is I think we're putting him on a little bit higher of a pedestal than he actually is on. And then on top of that, like paying twice for a player, I just don't really think that's smart when it's somebody of his caliber. Now, if it was a superstar, then I'd understand more, I guess. It's like it's somebody you got to get so you don't take a risk at another team, swiping them in free agency. But like with Brunson, I don't see us paying twice as in giving up young guys to trade for him and then having to pay for him in free agency as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I want to smart because he gives you the same thing. And
Freezy, you think he's too short?
No, I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't say.
True.
Hey, what is it? So, D'Angelo. Hey, man, D'Angelo, thank you for the generous contribution.
You the man. You know it.
D'Angelo says 12 in the camera. Yo,
D'Angelo, it's raining.
Hey, D'Angelo, I'm a college student, by the way.
I appreciate that.
D'Angelo,
much love to all you guys. You know that.
Hey, D'Angelo, man, is I was just talking to. I think I was talking to D Poetic last week about D'Angelo. I'm like, yo, I don't even know what it's like to be on no more without D'Angelo, bro.
Nah,
man, for real.
I'm blushing.
Hey, D'Angelo, you were like an undercover cop from the Bronx.
Oh, no.
No, don't do that. Don't do that, bro.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah. But thank you for your generous contribution, man, to the show.
You know that, man.
You know what
I'm all for it. All you guys, everybody makes the show great.
Yeah,
especially
man.
you, Freeze.
Yeah, well, we're trying, bro. We're trying. But so the thing with the Jalen Brunson is this: Jalen Brunson, I think, is a very good point guard for what he does, right? In Dallas, will Tom Thibodeau allow him the same freedoms in New York? Saying that he is a kid that's going to be on the outside looking in. He's not a Tibbs guy. Never played for Tibbs. No. You know what I'm saying? And so if you sign him to say the 4 years, $80 million that he wanted, he's going to immediately come in and be a higher paid player than Evan Fournier, right? So now your backcourt is going to be Brunson and Fournier. Is that the type of Tibbs backcourt that can win you a championship?
No.
And the reason why I ask you that, I ask you that because not only are you committed at least 2 years of them two being together, but 4 years of Brunson by himself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you talk about the Brunson, the trade for Brunson and the contract that he wants, you have to consider the long-term thing and not the in the moment thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so in the moment, we want somebody so bad to show up the position that we'll take just about anybody. But long term, is he the long-term answer? So what do y'all think?
But we were just talking about Westbrook.
Yeah. No. We were talking about the Westbrook scenario.
Yeah,
we weren't talking about.
I'd rather have Westbrook.
Nobody's. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Chuck just.
I think. Listen, with Brunson, I think he's just too small of a guard.
Too short.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's too short. He's too small. I'm not a fan. He's a good player, but I don't think he's that good. Yeah, he's not quick. I just don't think that's the point guard we need. That's not the future.
But look what they're saying though. We got McBride, right? And McBride is a point guard, right? He's gonna be our future, and he's the same height as Brock.
He's 6'1", right? Yeah.
Right. But CWC, that was the point. Do you, if you know all these things, do you still offer him 4 years, $80 million?
Oh, no.
Yeah. You know what? No. You know what? Bronson, he could shoot. He could facilitate. He a rugged guy. He a rugged point guard. He could play defense. You ain't gonna find too many point guards out there. All the point guards is on contract.
We'll never know with McBride.
He's a 33% 3-point shooter. Just to point that out to you.
Yeah. Below average.
Yeah, Bronson's not good of a 3-point shooter. That's true.
But guess what? He could change it up though. Come on, everybody falls to 31, then bring it back to
pay him $20 million a season.
Bro, if you can't shoot 40% in Dallas with one of the greatest players of a generation.
Good point. No, Brunson can shoot. Bronson could shoot. Man.
He's all right.
Hold on. This guy averaged 16 points a game, right? Don't y'all say we need a facilitator? Somebody passes the ball to the guys in the right spot.
I'm just not paying him $20 million. Right? That's all I'm saying.
So who we want to get as that point guard?
But CW, okay,
he wants the bag. He wants too much money, man.
Yeah, and CWC, the point that you're missing is this: Brunson is allowed to do these things because he's playing next to a dude named Luka. Do the Knicks have a Luka where he can do those same things?
Not even close.
Nope.
No, he doesn't. So now you have to ask yourself, what will this player be like without the cover of a Luka?
Well, we got Randle and RJ. He could make their life easier if we have a point guard. That's all we missing.
You can put them two players.
What we missing is a point guard. No, check this out. If we get Bronson on this team, he could open Cam Reddish game, Obi Toppin game, everybody's game. That's what we doing. Missing a point guard. What are we talking about here?
So you're willing to pay $20 million for a backup?
Right. And then you got to trade.
Let Chuck talk. This is what I'm saying, Chuck. Who else we going to pay out there, Chuck, that's going to come on the net as a point guard? Who we going to get out there?
We missed our opportunity several times in the draft to draft.
Exactly.
So
who we going to get? If we don't get Bronson, Chuck, who we going to get?
But I just think we can't be that desperate to where we're going to trade. We're going to pay twice for a guy like Brunson. That's what I'm saying. Hey, we had to get something. We had to get a point guard, man. We can't win. We can't win a lot of games without a point guard. Y'all see what we're doing right now? Y'all see what we're doing right now? I'm willing to do.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, we win 3 games and lose 3 games. Then we're going back and forth. Recycle.
Right.
Come on, man. Y'all want to see a game like that? I don't want to see no game like that.
But CWC, that's not the point that we're making. Right. The point that we're making is this: as Knicks fans, you have to consider: are you that thirsty for Jalen Brunson?
Right.
This is not about anybody else.
Exactly.
This ain't about anybody else or what other options are out there.
It's not being thirsty. It's being more.
But no, CW, you missing. When I would so 10 minutes ago, I asked you a question. I asked you this: are you okay with the Knicks being hell bent on Jalen Brunson? I didn't say point guard, right? Or a trade. The whole focus of the question was Jalen Brunson. That's what I'm saying. That was the point that we brought up. Hey, Danny, you remember me bringing that up, right? Just about Jalen Brunson in this moment, right?
Well, the reason for that, because I heard on different networks, if Brunson be a free agent, we ain't have money to sign him. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, okay, we over the top then. So we're gonna have to get Brunson through the trade deadline. So different networks tell you different things.
Well, but that's what I'm telling you. Because when the off season starts, everybody's available, just about, right? You can trade, you can pick up a guy in free agency, you can do all that. So during the off season, it's safe. For instance, in the off season, we can trade for Ben Simmons, DeJounte Murray, whoever, right? But once this trade deadline passed, you know what I'm saying, you can't really, that's why I was asking that. But anyway, y'all want to wrap up right here, man. I'm going to go ahead.
Hold on, Uncle Freezy. I ain't gonna let you slide, Uncle Freezy. I ain't gonna let you slide, Uncle Freezy. Hey, Uncle Freezy, check this out. So what happened if we don't get Brunson?
And so
who we gonna get?
Ghostbusters.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're dealing with the math, Uncle Freezy.
I know. Hey, did you like your intro?
He looked like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
You ain't even say thank you, you unselfish.
I did.
Wow.
I did say thank you.
Oh, okay.
All right. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, man, so I can get back on this schedule and routine and stuff. Thank you everybody for coming through. I'm gonna try to jump back on later. I can't speak to what time that's gonna be, but I invite everybody to come back through so that we can continue to have the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Drink your fluids.
Yeah, I know, man.
And we had to do something with
get
Sam.
some rest, take some
He live in ATL. He don't live in New York. We had to do with something Sam intro. Sam, you live in ATL, right?
No. Sam's gone.
Yeah, Sam.
Sam's gone. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I will see everybody in a little bit. It'll probably be about 7 or so, 8 or so, maybe. Just a little hangout, something non-formal. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then we could just get together and talk some Knicks. And hopefully by then I have this stupid camera from sliding around doing this Michael Jackson thing on top of my mic. All right, y'all.
You're peeking over the fence.
Yeah.
Brunson.